Picture this. You're in prison. Today, a judge decides if you go free. You've been a model prisoner. Your case is solid. Your odds are 65%. But you're the last case before lunch, and that drops your odds to almost zero. Not because of your file, but because the judge is hungry, allegedly. This is one of the most famous studies in psychology, cited thousands of times in bestsellers, in seminars, all over LinkedIn. And it's probably wrong. Stick around. By the end, you'll know which thinking error actually costs you money. No hunger required. 2011. Researchers watch 8 parole judges at work. More than 1,000 rulings made over 50 days of hearings. And there's this pattern. Right after breakfast, the judges approve almost 2 out of 3 requests, 65%. Then the curve drops, and drops. Right before the break, practically zero. Then the judge eats, and the curve jumps back to 65. After lunch, same story. A sawtooth, controlled by meals. The researcher's explanation: deciding wears you out, and a worn-out judge takes the easy way out. He says no and leaves everything as it is. The world loved this story. Justice is what the judge ate for breakfast. Newspapers, lecture halls, management seminars, everyone passed it on. And be honest, you believe it instantly, because you know the feeling. Hungry in a meeting, cranky in the checkout line. Hangry became a word because it feels true. That's exactly what makes this story dangerous. It's too perfect. One statistician calculated how big this effect would have to be. The result? As big as the height difference between men and women. In psychology, there's simply no plausible effect that strong. His point? If hunger were that powerful, the world would slide into a little chaos every day at 11:45. Think about it. Doctors, pilots, air traffic controllers. They all make big calls right before lunch, too. See the problem? 2 researchers thought something was off, too. And before building a single statistical model, they did something radically simple. They put one question to lawyers, a parole judge, prison staff. How does the daily case list actually get put together? The answer tears apart one of psychology's most irresistible stories. The order of the cases was never random. Prisoners with a lawyer go first. Prisoners without a lawyer last, right before the break. And guess whose requests get approved more often? On top of that, the judges work prison by prison. One block gets finished before the break. A fresh one starts after. What looked like a hungry judge was a sordid queue. One of behavioral science's biggest mistakes wasn't uncovered by a supercomputer, just by a few simple questions. If that went by too fast, here's the most elegant proof. One researcher wrote a computer program, an artificial judge. A judge that knows no hunger, no fatigue, and no feelings. Just one rule. If the next case won't fit into the session, push it past the break. Because approvals take longer, a good 7 minutes instead of 5. The result of this program? The same sawtooth. Up, down, break, back up. No stomach involved. To be fair, the original authors ran the numbers again. A piece of the pattern survives. The pattern is real. But as proof of hungry judges, it doesn't hold up anymore. The burden of proof has switched sides. Which leaves the big question. Does decision fatigue even exist? Science actually measured it. Properly. 23 labs, over 2,000 participants. No effect. 36 labs, 3,500 participants. This time, leading proponents of the theory helped design the test themselves. Again, nothing. And in real life, over 200,000 calls to a medical hotline, assessed by nurses, analyzed under a pre-registered plan. No trace of fatigue. The willpower battery from all those self-help books. Science can't find it. If it exists at all, it's tiny. And yet, one effect has survived every test. It doesn't play out in the courtroom. It plays out where you pay. Researchers ran real car buyers in Germany through a real online configurator. It took 67 decisions to finish a car, from 4 shift knobs to 13 rims to 56 interior colors. The only thing the researchers changed was the order. One group got the hard choices first, the other the easy ones. And the buyers who started with the hard choices began simplifying their decisions halfway through, clicking the default option more and more often. In the end, their cars cost around $1,500 more on average. No hunger needed, no empty battery, just a long chain of decisions, because at the end of that chain, the default almost always wins, the choice someone else already made for you. The same game plays out at the supermarket checkout because the candy sits at the very end of your shopping chain. When British supermarket chains removed candy from their checkout areas, those purchases dropped by about a sixth, and unplanned candy purchases made while shoppers were out were 3/4 lower than at chains without that policy. Retailers know exactly where your chain ends. So what's the takeaway? 3 tools. 1. Important money decisions belong at the start of your chain. Contracts, insurance, big purchases, first, not at night after 40 other decisions. 2. Distrust every default. A default is a decision. Someone else just made it for you. 3. When a study sounds too perfect and the effect is huge, ask who sorted the queue. Oh, one more thing. You're not you when you're hungry? That slogan first aired in 2010 at the Super Bowl. The Hungry Judge study came out in 2011. The ad was already running the year before the study appeared. Sometimes advertising writes the story, and research delivers the justification later. All the more reason to question both. If this opened your eyes, subscribe. Week after week, we take apart the thinking errors that cost you money. And next time, I'm opening the full toolbox, the 10 strongest tools against your thinking errors, from every video, all in one. Until then, make your most important decision first.